Welcome to Cooking in College, the show that teaches you how to make delicious, easy, and affordable meals. I'm your host, Paige. Today, we're making carrot cupcakes with a healthy twist. So whenever you're cooking, the first thing that you always want to do is wash your hands. So we're going to wash our hands. And whenever I'm in the kitchen, I like to keep a grocery bag up close right by the sink. So whenever I need to throw anything away, it's really easy. I just pop it right in here. Okay, so whenever we're baking, it's really important that we measure out all of the ingredients exactly how the recipe calls for it. It's not like cooking where you can just add anything to it and just go with it. And of course we need to preheat our oven because we are going to be baking these cupcakes. So we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. And we're going to be making mini cupcakes actually too. Okay, so first we'll start with our dry ingredients. We're going to be using 3 cups of flour. Now if you do want to go with a more healthier cupcake than we are, we're still going to add a healthy twist, but if you really want to go healthy, you can always use wheat flour, whole wheat flour. So whenever I bake, to make sure that I get the exact measurement, I actually learned this in 7th grade home ec, I take a knife and I measure the cup and I just shave it right off with the knife. So I know I have a whole cup. We're going to be sifting these ingredients. This is a sifter. And basically we just shake it around and sift it. It just makes it super fine so that the cupcakes are light and fluffy. Now if you don't have to have a sifter, it is okay. You don't have to worry about that. It's not the end of the world or anything. So you don't have to have a sifter to make the cupcakes or anything really. It's just an added bonus. So again, we're going to be using 3 cups of flour. And we're just using all-purpose flour. Now we're going to add sugar. Just plain white sugar, and again I smooth this off. Again, if you're going with a healthier route, you don't have to use sugar. You can use, there's a lot of different alternatives. Just look on the packaging, because the packaging usually will give you the right measurement of how much of that alternative sugar you would use as opposed to regular sugar, because it is different. And they have so many different kinds now. So yeah. So we're just going to be sifting these all together. 3 cups of sugar and 3 cups of flour, and then we're going to add our baking soda. And we're going to be using a tablespoon of baking soda for this. And this recipe is just so easy. You don't even need an electrical mixer, which I was shocked when I had learned that, because normally I'm so used to baking stuff and using my nice big KitchenAid mixer. But not for this one. Okay, so just 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Just sift it in there. We're going to be using 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now I have fresh ground cinnamon, but you can just use regular cinnamon. And I just push it off while it's in the bag. Make it nice and easy, and the cinnamon just smells so good. Okay. And then we're going to add just a teaspoon of salt to the mixture. Just a teaspoon of salt. Just add that. Sift those on through, those go right through. And then we're going to put our sifter off to the side, and we're just going to mix these. I'm just going to grab the spatula because we're going to be using that. And we just want to mix these around. And then we're going to move right along to our wet ingredients. And the first ingredient with our wet ingredients is eggs. So we're going to be whisking the eggs together. Now again, if you don't have a whisk, that's okay. You can use a fork. It works just as good, but I like to use a whisk because, it's just easier and faster. So we're using 4 eggs, and this is when our little handy-dandy bag comes in handy, because we can just grab these and toss them right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all of our wet ingredients in there and then whisk it. You can do it either way. We're using coconut oil. Now the thing about coconut oil is this is where our healthy comes into play, where our health twist comes into play. Coconut oil is extremely healthy for you. It's good for your, not just, to eat, but it's good for your skin. It's good for your, just all around. It's really, really good for you. So we're going to be using about 1.5 cups. Now as you can see, it's kind of difficult because coconut oil comes kind of solid at first, and in order to get it into the chunk that we have to let it sit in water. So yeah, if you're not afraid to get down and dirty, go ahead and grab it. Let me just rinse my hands off here. And then we're going to go ahead and pour this in to our egg mixture. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I know that sounds like a lot, but that is exactly how much we're doing. It's got to add a lot of nice flavor. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to grab our whisk. Whoops. Things happen, you know? And then we're just going to whisk these together. So when you're done whisking together all of the wet ingredients, we're just going to mix it with the dry ingredients. So we're just going to go ahead and pour it in, and we're going to stir them all together. And just get it all around. And it's going to start sort of thicken up, but we still got some more ingredients to add. Okay, so now that we've mixed together our dry and our wet ingredients, it kind of has like a cookie dough consistency, but that's okay. Now we're going to add in 12 ounces of carrot baby food. Yes, I was a little grossed out at first, but this is how we do it. If you don't want to use carrot baby food and you want to actually puree your own carrots, that works just as well. And that would just be carrots and water pureed. So we're just going to, and we're going to be folding in these ingredients. And at the store, you'll probably find that it doesn't come in just 12 ounces of baby food. So you have to get 2 3.5 ounce ones and then 2 1.5 ounce containers to get it all together. And the other thing about baby food is that whenever you open the container, it likes to splatter all over you. So that usually happens with me. I get it nice and splattered, which hopefully doesn't happen with this one. But this is one of the 1.5 ounce ones. Ah, just likes to go everywhere. And folding, we use a spatula to fold. I mean, you could probably use a spoon too, but a spatula really works well with folding. So we're going to be folding, and folding is very different than stirring. Stirring, you just go around in circles. Folding is you actually fold over the batter so that it can mix through. Just keep folding it. And this carrot is the carrot puree, or baby food, whatever you'd like to call it, is going to add some liquidity to this mixture. So that it's more like a cake or a cupcake batter. As you can see, it already is starting to loosen it up. That's so good. Okay, so now we've folded that together. We're going to take 1 cup of coconut shreds. You can just buy these at the store. And we're going to add them to the mixture. We're also going to fold these in. I'm just a hot mess, so it's going everywhere. But we're also going to fold those in, as well as 1 cup of pecans. And this the pecans adds for a nice little crunch in the cupcake, and then the coconut obviously adds a nice little sweet coconut flavor. So it's chopped pecans. You could chop your own, put them in a food processor, whatever. I just bought them chopped so it would save me time. And we're just going to pop these in there. And again, fold these. So as you can see, now we have a more light consistency with the batter, which we're going to be scooping into our mini cupcakes. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to take this over here, and we're using a mini cupcake pan, and this makes 8 big size cupcakes. I have never made it with mini ones, but I'm estimating about 40. I don't really know though, I'm just guessing. So you want to line the cupcake cups with well, paper cupcake cups, or they have foil ones. It depends, whatever one you like. You could just spray the inside with oil, but sometimes it's very difficult to get them out that way. And also that adds more oil that you're adding, and we're going healthy, so that wouldn't be the right or the best route. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to take a spoon. Well, I think I'm going to use really 2 spoons just so I can get it off. And we're just going to scoop it into there. Right, nice in there. And you want to fill it. You don't want to overflow it, but you want to fill it just like that. So you're filling the cup. Just enough to fill it. And if it gets on the side, it's okay. That happens to me all the time. But it'll just cook on the side and you'll have a little crisp piece there. So you just want to fill these all up. And then we're going to be cooking them for about, I think, 18 minutes. Or until, because these are mini, it varies very much because they're mini, obviously. So you want to just watch them until they're golden brown, and then we'll be sticking a knife or a toothpick in the center to make sure that they're fully cooked throughout. So I was just informed that I said that the batter makes 8 cupcakes. It actually makes 18. I meant to say 18, but I said 8 just for the record. Okay, so we're making the frosting for our cupcakes. We're making a cream cheese buttercream frosting. If you don't have a mixer or you don't want to use a mixer or whatever, you could just buy cream cheese frosting. But if you do have a mixer, it doesn't have to be like this. It could be just a hand mixer, and this is how you would do it. So we're going to use 8 ounces of cream cheese, and make sure that it's softened. You want to let it sit out for a little bit just so that it can get nice and soft and it won't be rock hard when you're trying to mix it on the mixer. So we have 8 ounces of cream cheese here, and we're just going to plop that in there, and we're going to let it go ahead and start mixing. We're also going to be using 1 stick of butter. If you want to use something healthier, you can always use margarine, but it's up to you. And you want it to be softened as well. You don't want it to be melted, but you want it to be softened so it can get a nice whipped texture. So we're going to throw these out. And we can bring the speed up a little bit. And once they come to a nice whipped consistency, we're going to have to use our spatula. Then we're going to start adding in our powdered sugar, which definitely makes it nice and sweet. So we just want to get around there with the spatula so that everything gets mixed. And then we'll pull it back and just let it go at it. And now, put this in there. And now we're going to use, don't know where to put this. Okay. Now we're going to take 1 cup at a time, and we're going to put it in there and just let it mix together. We don't want to overwhelm it. And this one we can kind of just shake off because it is so light. And I want to turn this off when I pour it in because otherwise it'll shoot everywhere. So that's 1 cup of powdered sugar. This frosting goes really well with the carrot cupcakes because it has that cream cheese flavor. Again, if you want to use like a reduced fat cream cheese or something along that, just to make it healthier, that is fine as well. But I don't really know what a alternative for the powdered sugar would be. But that's okay. A nice little, it's all about moderation, honestly, when you're talking about eating healthier, or you don't want to deprive yourself. So like we're making the mini cupcakes, if you have 1 or 2 mini cupcakes, that's better than like 3 large ones, or even 2 or 1 large one. So you just want to eat it in moderation, just maybe once in a while. But you can still have all the things that you like to eat, but just not as often as you might want. So we're just going to get it all mixed in there so that we can just get everything finely mixed. Not finely, but mixed together evenly. So 3 and 4 cups of powdered sugar is about, I want to say, it's 1 bag. So if you buy like a regular size bag of powdered sugar, That's how much we're going to be putting in here. Don't know, I bet probably about 16 ounces. A pound, maybe. I believe it's a pound. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not 100. So this is our last cup, our 4th cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to pour it in there. Yeah, I get all over the place when I cook, but it's okay. And just mix that in. So we're also going to be adding just a teaspoon of vanilla. Now if you're really trying to decorate the cupcakes and you want really white frosting, then I would use a clear vanilla, but you're going to have to buy that at like a Michael's or a Joann's. So I'm just going to be using regular vanilla because I'm really not trying to decorate all that much. We're just going to have a nice flavor. And I like to use my little guy here. And we're just going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and let that mix together. Done. They took about 14 minutes, and in order to make sure that they're done, we just take a knife. If you have a toothpick, that works too. Stick it in. Well, obviously, you know, it pulls it up and pull it out, and if it comes back clean with no, you know, gooey batter, then it's done. An easy way to get them nice and cool is to put them in the freezer for a few minutes and just get them nice and cool before you frost them. But we're just going to go ahead and frost. So you can take a knife, a spatula, a piping bag if you have that, or even a Ziploc bag and do some nice cool decorations. We're just going to go ahead and take a little bit of frosting and frost it nice and good. So once again, thank you for watching, and this is Cooking in College with Paige.